Hi, welcome back. Kelly from the Plant-Based Kitchenista. Just wanted to introduce you to Georgie. This is my little Havanese, who of course if you ever hear barking or a little ruffling or something like that, like the woof woof, this is who it is. So she's my little 7-year-old Havanese. She's crazy. So say hi, Georgie. Say hi. All right, here we go. Now she's looking at me like, what did I do wrong? All right, so welcome back. So today we're going to talk about chili peppers that are fresh. So we talked about chili peppers that are dry. So you've got all kinds of different kinds. You've got like shishito that you can get in the grocery store. Of course, everybody knows this one, jalapeno. Then you've got your Fresno chilies. These are really, really, really hot. Usually in the store you can find 3 to 4 different fresh ones, unless you're like in different areas and stuff where they really carry a lot of the chili peppers. So here's one. This is the jalapeno. So to get it ready, you chop off the top. So you just cut off a little bit of the top right here, and then you can slice it down. So we'll just take it and just slice it right down the middle. To keep your hands from getting all the different parts and pieces in it, and so you kind of, where you don't have to worry about getting also the hot, you just take a spoon and you just get in there. And you want to take out the white stem part, and you want to take out the little seed part. So you just scrape that out. Comes out pretty easy, especially if they're fresh. Like that. So nice and clean. A lot of people will take them, they'll fill these up and just eat them just like this with the jalapenos. I like a little bit of jalapeno, but not a lot. So this is more than enough for me. So I'll put that down there. So you can just take them, slice them up however you want. You can actually roast them. I usually roast a lot of my peppers, especially when I'm making tamales. So I just put them on parchment paper on a baking sheet, and I put them in the oven at 350 for about 20 to 30 minutes until they start getting that caramelized brown and they get really soft. And then I just chop them up and then put them in tamales, or you can put them in all kinds of different Mexican style food, which is really good. Put that one there. All right, so if you get lots of jalapenos, just say you're working with them and you don't have gloves on, or when it's the actual season stuff where they roast all the chilies and you get all those green chilies and red chilies and all that, if you get them on your hands, a lot of times it burns. A lot of times you may not notice it on your hands because you don't have any cuts or anything, but what will end up happening is later on down the day you'll kind of rub your eyes a little bit and all of a sudden your eyes start burning. So one of the things that you can actually do is you can take baking soda, which is like this, and then you just mix it in with some water. So just get a little bowl like this, mix it in with some water, and then stir it up, and then rub your hands into the baking soda paste, and then just let it set for a couple minutes and then rinse it off. What that does, it takes all that stinginess and all the burn stuff out of these peppers and stuff off your fingers, which is really, really nice. So this one's all ready to go. So storing these. You can keep them in the refrigerator. They're better off and stuff. They actually say to keep them out of the refrigerator because the refrigerator tends to kind of enhance the going to the rot stage. So if you keep them out on your counter, when you get these and stuff, usually about 3 to 5 days is usually how long you can store them. So if they're not quite like ripe, or they're not really pliable and stuff, you can leave them in a counter, or you can put them like in a brown paper bag. Also, when you roast them, which is really nice, and you can do the same thing with red bell peppers. When you roast them and they're done, you want this kind of skin off if you want. So when that's done, all you do is you just take it, you put it in a brown paper bag, let it sit on the counter, or just put it in a bowl like this and put saran wrap on the top of it. When that's done, you let it set for about 5-10 minutes. All the skin peels off, which is really, really nice. And by the time you usually get it out of the oven anyway, this is all like bubbly and it's all brown and kind of spotted. So that's a really easy way to do it. But remember the baking soda tip and trick, because you want to make sure that if you do get this on your hands, just like I can smell it right now in my hands, baking soda and water is really good. To store them for a lot longer, one of the things that you can do is if you have these nice mason jars, and you'll notice I have all different types of mason jars. I have really big ones, I have really small ones, little tiny ones, all the way to this size. This is my favorite because it has the big open mouth here. So what I did here, and these have probably been in there for probably about 3 or 4 weeks now. I took 2 jalapenos that I knew were not going to last they were in the fridge. So I pulled them out and I put them into just regular old white vinegar. So I poured it into a mason jar, and I've actually just had them soak it in there. You don't want to use the white vinegar on there because if you do, it's bitter and it's just kind of yucky. So you pull this out. Still smells like a jalapeno. It's got a little bit of a white vinegar smell, which is a little bit pickled, but actually all you can do is you just rinse it off and then you chop it open and you actually just use it just like a regular jalapeno. But if you think about it, this in the refrigerator, probably if you would have did, or even on your counter, 3 to 5 days, and then you'll start getting mold on it. This has been almost 3 to 4 weeks in the refrigerator. So there's 2 of them in here. They're ready to go. If I smell the white vinegar, it actually still smells like white vinegar. So not a lot of the jalapeno or anything like that is actually soaked up in there. So kind of a nice tip and trick if you want to keep your peppers around a little bit longer. If it's summertime, it probably doesn't really matter. But they also, what I did find out, which I think is really interesting, is there's over 200 varieties of peppers, of fresh peppers. So if you think about it, you could spend a long, long time going through all different types of peppers through all different types of food. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.